just for you to lay your blocks on. You are not coloring on it. You shouldn't have your names on it because I am collecting them again. But you're using it for your blocks. Your crowns or your colored pencils, those you are going to be coloring in your book. Emma, have a seat. You don't know if they stole it. Have a seat. Could have been something wrong. So our first one on number 1 says how many squares? So what is the fewest number of squares in a 4 by 28? So our 4 is going to be over here, and our 28 is going to be down there. So with your partner, get on your board a 4 by 28. With the blocks, you're using the fewest number of blocks in a 4 by 28.
So we need 4 rows.
So since we only have 4 right here, which way does the long blocks need to go? Adriana?
This way.
No more shouting out, we're getting really low. The long way, yes, they need to go horizontal here. So do a 4 by 28 on the big grid. Zoe? And if you read the instructions, it does say start at the lower left corner. It says start here. You're working with your partner. 4 by 28. So in our 4 by 28, how many long blocks do we have? Savannah.
80?
Not 80. How many long blocks do we have? We have 8. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Of our tiny cubes, how many do we have? Maverick?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 blocks.
Not 34. Brian?
20.
Charlie?
28.
We have 4 right here, so we still have 4 rows, and we have 8 blocks across. So we have 4 by our leftover 8. So rather than counting each and every block, how can we figure out what we have left over in our number of blocks? Dakota? 32. So what you're going to do on page 211, leave your blocks, just set your paper aside. On 211, you are coloring the squares that you did with the long blocks. You're going to color them red. You're going to color the individual blocks blue. On 211, you are not coloring on the big paper. 211 is in your math journal. So on your paper, you should have your 4 up. You have 8 long blocks up to 20. Those all right. Just go ahead and do the other color. Just look on your own. It's fine. Now you can just switch it. Skyline. You can do red and yellow. If you flip the colors, it's not that big of a deal. Just go ahead and flip them. You don't have red and blue, that is fine. As long as you have the two colors to show. How can we figure out how many squares total are in this whole section here without counting each and every individual square? What are some ways we can count it? Bailey, what is one way? We could count by tens. So we had our 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. And then we already said, so those were 8. And how many did we say were in the bottom one? Or this last section? The individual squares? 32. So we could do our 80 long, added to our 32 to get our total. What's another way we could do it? What's another way that involves multiplication? Maverick. Oh, no, we don't need 80. This is the other. How many did we go up here? How many did we go across? So what could we multiply to figure out how many blocks we have?
Good job, Emma.
What could we multiply if we have 4 here, 20 across? Joey?
4 times 28.
You do 4 times 28. All right. And this first one, what is 8 times 4? What is 8 doubled and then doubled again? 8 times 4. Kaden.
12. No, wait, not 12. I know the answer, the whole answer. Like what 28 times 4 is.
Faith.
32.
32. We have our 2. Take our 2 to the top. What is 4 times 8? 4 times. Sorry, 4 times 2. And what do we need to do? It gives us 120. What can our
2.
6 times 2? So you want to do that one? So we got 6 blocks down, or 6 dots down.
I just did this yesterday with my dad.
Did you? And then 2 blocks over.
Okay, so wait, this is my pencil. Did it? Faith. Oh, poop.
So then if you look at,
6.
you're good. So then if you look at number 1 on our units, what side is the longer side? Oh, I know, I did it that one wrong.
6.
That one's wrong. So is this one.
6.
6 is our longer side. What was our shorter side?
2. 2. 12 square units and nothing.
So our second one was 12 square units. So 6 times 2 equals 12. What else? What's another factor that we could do?
It's 11:42.
Huh?
It's 11:42. And we still have 5.
No, we'll do that.
It is.
What's another factor for 12? Read.
Second one,
So what could you do on the second one? We have 6 again.
4 and 1. Or
That's
3.
4 and 1 is 4.
Yeah, this is time.
So what times what equals 6? Also, besides 3 and 2.
3 and 3 equals 6.
That's 9. That's if you add or multiply.
2
1
and
6.
3 equals 6.
Yeah.
What? 1 and 5.
That equals 5. 1 and what?
1 and 6.
1 and 6.
So just make a straight line 6.
That sounds about right. Good job. 1 and 6.
Okay, are we on number 4?
16 square
16 square units?
I know
So
another
what
one.
2 numbers equal 16 when you multiply them together? 8 and what?
2.
8 and 2. So how would we draw them?
8. 2 down, 1 to go.
However you want to do them, or you can flip.
36, 7.
Okay, then.
Is that it? Is that it?
1, 2, 7, 8. Oh, yeah, 8 and 2. So your longer side is what?
So what is this? So the longer side is 8.
So we have 16 square units again.
What's this?
What other 2 numbers times 2?
Um,
Other 2 numbers times 2, or what other 2 numbers multiplied together equals 16?
4 and 3? No, 4 and 4. Show 1.
4 and 4.
8 that times 2.
Times 2. Yep, you did 4 and 4 on that, so you can do 8 times 2. Done. Good job. Done.
30 minutes.
So 8 and 2.
Oh, try. I know.
Good, that's fine. What other 2 numbers multiplied together equal 6?
Times 2.
Okay, we're showing 1.
Quit. Show 2. Show 3.
Hello. I've spent yesterday and today filming my videos and went back and watched them. And here is kind of my thoughts on the videos. For this lesson, the first question was how you differentiated the lesson for individuals and or a distinct group of students. I would say more than half of the students in this class, they are visual learners. They need to see a teacher model what they're exactly supposed to do. They get very frustrated and they give up if they don't understand, and they don't want to listen by that point, which I know is also a behavior. But modeling has definitely helped, and having an Elmo projector in the classroom is helped as well, because I'm able to model what I would like them to do. So the first part that we did as a whole class was we were doing a multiplication array to find the area of a rectangle or a square. And I chose to get out the base 10 blocks. This is something that they could have done without the blocks, but a majority of the students are very tactile and they like having those manipulatives there to help them if they need it. And some did not use them, but a majority of them did. There are times it becomes too much of a distraction and they have to be reminded. I know I reminded them a couple times that they needed to, put the blocks down and focus on what we're doing in the video or doing for the lesson for that day. But it helps them. It's another way, rather than just even visually seeing me do it. It's another way so they can see it right in front of them. And so
it helps them in the long run, and they seem to understand it better when we do it this way. We also went from that to a small group centers. And the group that I chose to do for centers are the lower group that we have, the ones that have a harder understanding. And I got out the geo boards for that assignment, and the geo boards and rubber bands. And we were doing, I would give them 12 square units, and they had to figure out with the geo boards what our array was, whether it be 12 times 2 or 6 times 2 or 3 times 4. Again, this is a manipulative that they love using in the classrooms. They loved using the geo boards, which brings me to question 2, which was any challenges that arose related to differentiated instruction. During implementation, we had a problem with the first 2 groups who were having a hard time focusing. They enjoy making shapes out of the rubber bands rather than what we are focused on in the lesson. So for day 2, which the first video, I actually ran out of video space and I did not realize it. So the first video was only a couple minutes long from yesterday. The video that I shot today was about 7 minutes per group. And unfortunately, because of the playing around with the geo boards yesterday, today I had printed out a copy of a geo board, and there were 6 geo boards on this sheet of paper. And we had 6 problems. So they were able to actually draw out where their rubber bands would be for the geo board. So as we worked out the problems, and then of course they went to their math journal to fill in our answers. So that was one of the challenges that arose, was having them playing too much and getting distracted by the geo boards. During the group instruction, when they were using the base 10 blocks, that's more of a just put the pieces down. I'm doing a new behavior where if the students are misbehaving, I take off tally marks, and their tally marks, they are given 15, and they are to earn rewards at the end if we have any left. So yesterday was the first day that we started it, when we did the whole group activity. So they had a couple of them left, but having them put down their base 10 blocks and not playing with them would be a good way to keep our tally marks up on the board. And the centers did lose a couple more because of behavior with the geo boards, so that they realized very quickly that they were going to lose. Our last one was how you will change your approach in future lessons. I would like to more I don't know. I liked how it was set up. I did like how the instruction was, how it was using the base 10 blocks. For our classroom specifically, we don't have geo boards for every student, so that would not be an approach I could do with every class. The geo boards are great, a great learning tool for students in centers, and I would continue to use the geo boards. The students seem to really enjoy using it. I would probably still use it in the future. Something that I would probably change, though, is maybe the use of the base 10 blocks. The kids had a great time using them, but they are a bit of a distraction during whole group discussion, and they can get noisy when messing with them. That may be something to try more in a center group or a partner group rather than doing a whole class discussion. And that would probably be one of the things I would change in a future lesson of this, a future class for this lesson. Thank you.